16 matches, almost 2.5 hours of action. There is no need for that. I'm Joe Rentham with my review of AEW Dark, and yeah, let's just get right on into it. 16 goddamn matches. Just put 8 on Tuesday, 8 on Friday. Don't fucking do this. I don't care if it's a 1-year anniversary of this show. Fucking Christ, there's just way too much programming. WWE has too much programming. And, sometimes New Japan goes crazy with their programming as well, though they found a good format with 6 matches, even for the G1, that has ended, and that was a whole lot of fun. Fucking Christ, AEW, you can test out how to do a second show, but goddamn, just don't be doing this. This is way too much. I had to watch this in 2 parts. I had to watch, almost all, up until, the last, 4 matches, watch Primetime Live, review that, and then come back to it. If you're going over 2 hours for your B show and then expecting people to tune in for Dynamite Live the next day, no, that's just way too goddamn much. No matter the company. Anyway, Excalibur and Taz on commentary, Spears and Daniels in the match, Shawn Spears trying to get under Scorpio Sky's skin, taking on his SCU partner, and the match was fine. At least they made the moves mean something, and these guys are 2 world-traveled veterans, Daniels especially, but Spears has been in the business for quite a while himself. He catches Daniels, hits the C4, 1, 2, 3, and then Tully Blanchard helps him load up the glove. He's gonna fist him, and then Scorpio Sky stops the fisting. And then the Pyro guy gets fisted. A lot of fisting action going on here. And this is not the last time that we're going to get this reference tonight. We then get Kylan King versus Brandy Rhodes. AEW should sign Kylan King for a lot of reasons. One, I think Kylan King is a star in the making. Also, because she had to work with Brandy Rhodes. I'm sorry if there are Brandy Rhodes fans out there, all 2 of you, but she should not be in the goddamn ring. She is fucking atrocious. John Silver shows up to distract because he wants to be on that Shot of Brandy show. That show that everybody on YouTube watches. I'm sure Brandy is nice, but just goddamn, keep her out of the ring. Keep her off the mic, for God's sakes. So, Shot of Brandy, the pump kick, 1, 2, 3. And then she shows respect to Kylan King afterwards. David Ollie versus Ricky Starks. Not all that much to this. Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3. Starks then joins commentary, which adds humor to it. And I like Starks. He's a good talker. Taz and Excalibur are fine, but one complaint I want to have about the commentary before I get back to the matches. You can joke, you can have fun, but when you're just assing off on commentary and not even really just trying to pop each other, so to speak, make each other laugh instead of calling the action, why the fuck should any of the fans care? And I would say this, especially if WWE does it, because they at times have it where the commentary doesn't treat the match seriously. So if commentary is supposed to, lend credibility to the matches, if the commentators aren't doing that, then what the fuck does this mean? Yes, Ricky Starks is somebody they're building. They just signed him recently, in the last few months. David Ollie is a guy that, to the AEW audience, is essentially a job guy. He is talented, like a lot of the unsigned talents they have, but why the fuck should we care about this? Commentary needs to do better. Because JR sure as fuck ain't doing any better on Dynamite. So, we then get Fuego del Sol versus Scorpio Sky. Flippy shit, a Die by Soul, some good stuff, and we get the Scorpio Deathlock for the tap. Would have been interesting if he somehow managed to pin him with a submission. And then here's Spears, they kind of do all this stuff and everything, so there's building to that feud. They'll probably have it on the buy in a full gear. In fact, I actually am bound and determined to see that happen, because it'll be the closest thing that Spears will get to a goddamn pay-per-view match again, unless they put him in a battle royal. So, and that's sad, because Spears isn't bad, he's kind of just there, but Scorpio Sky is somebody they should be pushing. Aaron Solo versus Luchasaurus with Jungle Boy. Starks refers to his tag team run on the Indies with Aaron Solo, and I actually got to see them at a Without a Cause show late 2018, early 2019, I think. That was actually really, really cool to see. And got to meet Ricky Starks a couple times. Really nice guy. And it was the match was It wasn't bad. Solo's a good athlete. Choke slam and standing moonsault for 3. Luchasaurus gets the win. Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. The whatever blondes that they are, not even Hollywood. Cincinnati blondes, I don't really know. The Perma blondes. And they took on Butcher and the Blade. I hope that Pillman's mullet doesn't make excuses for Logan's stunt like Brian Pillman Jr. did, and you know what I'm fucking talking about. If all true, that's fucking bullshit right there. Brian Pillman Jr., I want to root for him, but every time I see shit that he does on social media, I'm just like, Brian, are you a fucking idiot? Seriously, are you a fucking idiot? Anyway, so the match was okay. The tag work was fine, and neckbreaker powerbomb for 3, and Butcher and Blade win, as they should, because they're going to be in a 4-way tag match on Dynamite tomorrow. Or today, depending on when you watch this. QT Marshall with Dustin versus Pentagon, Penta L0M, and I'm just going to call him Pentagon because that's what I know him as. Here's a question for this in the main event. Why all the pyro? Don't have pyro for Dark. Yes, the Khans have a ton of money. And Tony Khan's dad, Shad Khan, he is willing to spend the money. I understand that. Just, you don't need to put pyro up for Dark. You don't fucking need it. And Penta does the usual flippy shit. QT Marshall then, sees that Eddie shows up, and then Allie's just back as a bunny. To be honest, Allie does look better in black leather and is a better heel than she is a face. But she just shows up. She's suddenly back in line with her husband and is upset with QT. And okay, fuck it, that storyline's just dropped. It wasn't a very good storyline anyway, but hey, at least she's away from Brandy and can maybe actually be treated as a decent wrestler. Allie is not great, but she's certainly better than what she's been able to do with Brandy. And then Destroyer and the Penta package 1, 2, 3. We then get KTB versus Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus. What does KTB mean, says Ricky Starks. Killing the business? That was pretty funny. KTB, however, pretty interesting offense. Very unique. DDT off the ropes for 2 by Jungle Boy. But KTB actually had a good showing here. I'd like to see more of him. Hopefully they feature him on Dark a little more. If you know anything about this guy, please let me know if there are any matches I should check out. Miss Moonsault from him. And then we get a diving knee off the top. 1, 2, 3. Jungle Boy gets the victory since he's going to be part of that 8-man Eliminator tournament tomorrow. And then we get Skylar Moore and Kenzie Page versus Ivelisse and Diamante. For somebody that's been in wrestling as long as Ivelisse, she's pretty goddamn lousy. Her and Velvet Sky must have gone to the same goddamn school, being bitches and also not being able to goddamn wrestle. But, I don't know, maybe Ivelisse has done what Velvet Sky does and slept with the right people to stay in wrestling, because there's no excuse for somebody being in wrestling that long, being that goddamn bad in the ring. Enough dumping on people that aren't in the goddamn company. Ivelisse shouldn't be in the goddamn company. She can earn a living, she just shouldn't be part of a big mainstream company because she's not any good. Yeah, anyway, we get instant fisting action here, and we get a kick to the face, and Ivelisse pins Paige. Kenzie Page, who was on a recent Shimmer show. Shimmer at the Collective, which actually wasn't that bad of a show. I'd highly recommend you guys check that out. Sojo Darling, is one of the breakout stars of, in the near future. So, Bishop King, spelled B-S-H-P, King, versus Colt Boom Boom Cabana. Oh boy, more Dark Order bullshit. Silver and Reynolds show up to motivate him. Superman pin for 3. If they're not going to give up on the Dark Order, I have no interest in them, no matter the talent. It's not that they're not talented people. I just don't care about the gimmick. Adam Priest versus Allen 5 Angels. Oh boy, again, more Dark Order. Angels wins. Angel wings. No, that's not how it's said. That's how Dusty would say it. Kazarian says he will use Jack Evans as a stepping stone tonight, and then does that. It's not a bad match. Jack Evans, at times, is really good, and then other times is really awkward, and he was quite a bit of awkward here. And Helico interferes, and then it did get awkward for a bit. Too many kickouts, few too many. Kazarian should have beat him a lot quicker, but Jack Evans had... When he actually was doing stuff that connected and actually looked good, he wasn't that bad. And yeah, there it was. It's like, of course, Taz at one point, they're bringing the wood, just pounding each other here. Good words there by Taz. He understands anatomy as well as he understands English, which isn't very well at all. Kazarian gets the win, and Helico attacks afterwards. Daniels comes out. A lot of SCU on this episode, which I'm not complaining about. SCU are awesome people. Louis, Valet, Baron Black, and D3 versus 3, 4, and 10 Dark Order. They tried to recruit Louis. Oh, Valet, we gotta go. No. And then some triple move. It was called the Pecker Dipper by Taz. I don't know why, but 1, 2, 3. Dark Order wins. Hopefully we are done with Dark Order being featured so much on Dark. I get it, but come on, you don't need to feature him that much. So, Wardlow versus Vinnie Pacifico. I seen Vinnie at an indie show, and he lasted longer. I lasted longer describing his name than he did in this match. Wardlow was just there to beat him, to hype up his appearance in the 8-man Eliminator tournament. Hits the knee off the ropes. For the love of God, get him a new finisher. Knockout moves aren't that bad, but that doesn't work for him. Eddie Kingston then says, everybody's back together. Here's the bunny. And, okay, why is she back together with him? I don't care. But just why? Why? Any explanation? We're going to get that tomorrow on Dynamite. Shawn Dean versus Matt Sydal. Good groundwork and high flying. Matt Sydal has become a really good ground-based wrestler while hitting some good high-flying moves. Dean has potential. And we get a Tiger Driver Bomb for 1 because Seidel's like, no, you will not beat me. And then gets a clutch on later and gets the victory. Phoenix versus Sonny Kiss with Joey Janela. And I like Sonny Kiss. And I think Phoenix is also good. I hate Joey Janela just in the ring. I think he's shit. And this should have gone... This should have been less awkward than it was. In Phoenix Driver for 3. I mean, it was really awkward. There were some good moments, but a lot of it was really awkward. Like, holy shit. Yeah, not all that good. Not bad. Just not that good. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.